Hi, my name is James Vonesh, and I'm a professor and the assistant director of the Center for Environmental Studies at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia. And thanks for checking out this talk on leveraging partnerships between university outdoor recreation and STEM departments to build sense of belonging and teamwork in the field. This presentation was originally shared in an organized oral symposium entitled Belonging and Identity in Ecology, organized by Holly White and Carr at the Ecological Society of America meetings in 2024. The recent literature and the other talks in this section highlighted that when thoughtfully designed and implemented, field studies can be powerful tools for fostering students' sense of belonging while also nurturing essential teamwork skills like communication, collaboration, problem solving, conflict resolution, and adaptability. But there are many challenges to create and implement field courses. And we know that field studies have a darker side. The unique environments of fieldwork have also been settings for exclusionary practices, harassment, and other misconduct in STEM fields. As instructors, we want to know how we can overcome these challenges and avoid the pitfalls to create welcoming and inclusive learning environments so that we can consistently leverage the potentially transformative powers of field experiences. Today, I want to share some ideas about how to accomplish this from three fundamental aspects of course design: assessment, how do we do better to measure the progress of these outcomes; programming, what course structures effectively teach these skills and create these environments; and third, partners, who are our natural allies in this mission. I'll start with some thoughts about assessment, because without data on how our programming and our partners are helping us to make progress toward greater belonging and teamwork, we're working in the dark. And we often don't have any data. In some cases, we may have pre- or post-course before and after type assessment data, and then we can begin to develop an understanding of the gains that students might be making in terms of their sense of belonging or teamwork. But with only before and after information, we have little understanding of variation in these responses through time, which might limit our ability to make inferences about our course design. So consider these two cases that have the same pre- and post changes in belonging. But with additional data on how variation in belonging varied over the course, maybe our confidence in the efficacy of course A increases, but maybe decreases for course B. We also have little understanding of how specific programming choices, lessons, activities, conditions are mapping onto these outcomes, because that's not the scale at which we're collecting data about belonging or teamwork. And that makes it hard for us to understand how specific program choices, like adding an additional curriculum element, or whether they're having the kinds of impacts that we'd hope to on these outcomes. And in the absence of information about how outcomes related to belonging and teamwork are mapping on to the specific elements of our courses, we're kind of left in a situation where we're hoping that belonging and teamwork emerge as happy accidents of our courses rather than intentional outcomes. A recent review by Nyarko and Pekovic highlighted in the geosciences that for many field courses, teamwork is seen as a natural outcome of students working together in the field. In other words, instructors may simply tell students to collaborate and assuming that teamwork skills develop automatically. This approach, however, may also be applied to outcomes related to belonging. While we value both, we may not be designing our curriculum to actively teach them, hoping that they'll emerge as accidental byproducts of our instruction. And moving beyond gathering data, what are the conceptual frameworks that inform our expectations for how students' sense of belonging or teamwork will change throughout a course? How might we expect sense of belonging or team performance to change through time? And are our ideas on this informed by a basic conceptual framework of group dynamics? For example, does a sense of belonging through time correspond to Tuckman's group development theory, or for how team performance changes as they move through the stages of forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning? And what kinds of programming anyway? What kinds of activities, lessons, situations cultivate a sense of belonging and teach teamwork? In other words, if we were to build a syllabus for an experiential STEM course that we wanted to teach belonging and fieldwork, what would the activities be that are mapping on to those particular outcomes? Or, again, are we treating these outcomes as happy accidents of a relatively more STEM-focused programming? Generally speaking, programming or developing activities targeted at enhancing belonging or developing teamwork skills are not things that we learned as STEM GTAs, although I'm hoping that's starting to change. So as scientists that are teaching in STEM fields, where would we go to learn about these things? Where would we find the time to learn them, even if we knew where to go? This is where I think partnerships can really help. Outdoor experiential education and recreation programs have theory, experience, and resources that are relevant to this mission. Practitioners, instructors, professors in this area have training in a variety of fields that can help us to overcome the challenges to conducting field courses, including training in experiential learning, group dynamics facilitation, individual leadership development, risk management in both the physical safety and the social and emotional safety domains, addressing logistics of field settings, and a variety of field skills that are relevant to STEM programs. What's more, accessing these kinds of resources doesn't necessarily require that you have to outsource your STEM field course to Outward Bound or the National Outdoor Leadership School. These experts may already be on your campus. In a recent landscape study, they found nearly 130 academic outdoor programs across the country. That is, programs that offer degrees or certificates in these fields. And if we look at colleges or universities that offer co-curricular outdoor programming, i.e. professionals that provide student access to outdoor activities through student services like rec sports, etc., there are an additional 375 programs. While the capacity of these programs varies widely, the point here is that finding an ally to support building effective field programs might be much closer than you think. So as STEM educators, maybe we don't have to completely reinvent the wheel here. What would it look like when university STEM programs collaborate with outdoor programs to co-create a field course? And what are the potential ripple effects when this happens? I'd like to share a case study of what this looked like for us at Virginia Commonwealth University. Launched nearly a decade ago, Footprints on the James explores the human and natural history of the James River watershed through Virginia. This 5-week immersive course typically offered as 2 courses in a block in May and June, has evolved over the years while maintaining its basic course structure. It's team taught by faculty from biology and environmental studies, and once even history, in collaboration with our VCU Outdoor Adventure Program professionals, with a diverse group of guest experts to enrich the curriculum. The course, limited to 12, usually second-year students, primarily from environmental studies and biology, although we've had students from across the university, embarks on a 150-mile journey down the James River through its 3 primary biogeographic regions. Utilizing sea kayaks, canoes, rafts, and even a historic bateau, the students camp for 3 weeks, collecting data for a course-embedded research project as they experience the unique ecosystems of the James River firsthand. No prior outdoor experience is necessary to participate in the course, and all equipment except personal items are provided through the Outdoor Center. Preparation for the course begins in the winter with recruitment through emails, class visits, information sessions, and outreach to underrepresented student groups and area community colleges. Students apply and are interviewed to make sure that they have a solid idea of what the course expectations are and to make sure it's a good fit for them, and to build a team with a diversity of strengths and interests. Prior to the course, we hold multiple pre-trip meetings to begin team building and to help students prepare. The course itself is run early in the summer and involves student research across the mountain, Piedmont, and coastal sections of the James River with an opportunity to synthesize and present at the end. And then students are encouraged to follow up with these data in the following academic year and to present their work at research symposia at the university and even regional meetings. One of the key components of the STEM curriculum is a course-embedded research project. Students collect data on land cover, water quality, and biodiversity data as they travel downriver. Each student is rotated through data collection for each of these different projects. And then they develop and workshop an individual hypothesis on the relationships across these data sets. At the end of the course, the students analyze the data and they present their findings to classmates and stakeholders via Zoom. But today I'm going to focus on specific outdoor experiential education elements that we integrated into the course and their impact on the students' perception of belonging and teamwork. We included a number of specific activities. These included a challenge course activity on day 1, a team goal statement development activity at the end of the first week, a couple of boating skills and safety training focused activities on the river, a traditional leadership development activity in the middle of the course, and the course culminated with a supported group solo for the final 2 days of the expedition, where the students were in charge of bringing the expedition down to the next site, collecting the data that needed to be collected, and then getting to the completion, the takeout at the end of the course. We also integrated a series of practices. These included reflective journaling, in addition to our sort of traditional natural history field notebook, evening debriefs with discussion prompts every night that we were in the field, and the presence of outdoor trip leaders, peer leaders, student trip leaders who were trained by the Outdoor Adventure Program who were present throughout the course. And when we asked the students at the end of week 1, integrating across the syllabi and the outdoor activities that we had outlined for them, what their goals as a team were, this is what they came up with. These are the goals for Footprints on the James 2024.
We're going to make it to the end together by supporting and encouraging each other.
We're going to be honest about how we feel and about our abilities. We're going to expand the collective knowledge of the James by explaining things to each other and asking questions.
Lift others up.
We're going to push ourselves in multiple areas and rotate equipment and share duties.
We're going to have fun, but we're going to do it safely.
Right.
We're going to use opportunities to network. And we're going to make lifelong friends.
And we're going to build confidence in outdoorsmanship.
All right, and all of the undersigned agree to these communal goals that we're going to try to accomplish together over the next 5 weeks. And here they are, Footprints on the James. And you can see these activities were strategically distributed throughout the course. In the beginning, we're setting the stage and establishing expectations. In the middle, we're reinforcing belonging and teamwork. In the end, we're bringing these elements to a culmination. And then the ongoing practices serve to maintain and nurture a sense of belonging and teamwork and provide us feedback on how things were going throughout the entire experience. We assess student perceptions of the impact of each activity on their sense of belonging and teamwork through an anonymous Google form survey administered at the end of the course. The results reveal students perceived all of these activities and practices as having a strong positive impact on both belonging and teamwork. On the x-axis here, you can see each of the outdoor experiential education elements that we inserted into the course curriculum: challenge course, goal statement, canoe skills, leadership activity, journaling, debriefing, leadership peer guides, and the group solo, and also for comparison, the students' responses to the course-embedded research project. On the y-axis, we have how they scored each activity on a scale ranging from -1, which would indicate that it had a very strong negative impact on their sense of belonging or teamwork, to +1, which would be the opposite, strong positive impact. And you can see the distribution of student responses for each activity in the box plots, with the white box plots indicating their response for sense of belonging, and the shaded box plots indicating their response for sense of teamwork. Notably, the group solo emerged as the most favorably viewed activity for both belonging and teamwork, while evening debriefs and peer guides were the top-rated practices. Interestingly, the course-embedded research project also received high marks for both belonging and teamwork, comparable to the most impactful of the outdoor leadership activities. This suggests that both the academic and the experiential elements contributed significantly to students' sense of belonging and teamwork development. To assess students' real-time perceptions of belonging and teamwork throughout the entire course, we developed a new tool, the Footprints on the James, or FOTJ, e-journaling app, available at the Apple App Store. Inspired by the Mappiness project, this app allows students to quickly record their feelings about belonging, participation, and teamwork on a sliding scale, as well as dictate journal entries for sentiment analysis. The app also captures weather and location data, providing a much finer scale, comprehensive view of how students' experiences are shaping their sense of belonging and teamwork through time. The app data enable us to look at normalized belonging scores, normalized against the group mean to account for individual differences, through the timeline of the course and as they relate to the various activities that are happening. There's a lot of interesting information here. There's a general trend of an increased sense of belonging through time, with a particular uptick right at the end of the course as things are culminating. There's a suggestion that the sense of belonging goes up and down throughout the course, perhaps with some of the peaks and troughs corresponding to particular activities or places. It's also interesting to observe how variation in sense of belonging changes over the course. Toward the beginning of the course, there's a lot more scatter, there's a lot more variation, whereas at the end of the course, individual scores are more closely associated. Students were encouraged to use the app as much as they would like, and the individual trajectories of belonging shown here reveal that there was significant variation in how much students engaged with the app, but it also shows some really interesting differences in individual trajectories. Here, each color corresponds to a different student, and each data point is a different use of the app. And so you can see that some students only made 2 entries in the app, whereas others made nearly a dozen. This individual level data provides valuable insights beyond the general trends that we saw in the previous slide. While some students demonstrate a more consistent increase in their sense of belonging over time, others plateau early or fluctuate throughout the course. This information can guide instructors to develop more targeted programming to support individuals and to foster a more inclusive learning environment. When asked to identify the activities or practices most impactful on their sense of belonging, students overwhelmingly highlighted the daily debriefs. While journaling and canoe skills development were also mentioned, the end-of-the-day debriefs emerged as a clear favorite. And this finding is significant, as debriefs are a simple and yet powerful tool for fostering connection, allowing students to feel heard and to express themselves, that can be adapted to a variety of field and even classroom-type settings. The app data reveals that students' perceived teamwork increased until about mid-course and then plateaued. While the early responses were variable, they converged towards a more consistent level by the end. This plateau is really interesting and begs a number of questions. It suggests a possible ceiling effect, prompting us to consider whether maybe there's a limit to perceived teamwork or growth, or if interventions could raise that ceiling. Alternatively, if there is a ceiling, maybe we could focus on reaching that plateau earlier in the course through more targeted activities or practices. It also begs the question of, does this time course look like what we would expect based on theory of group dynamics? Individual trajectories with respect to their sense of teamwork captured by the app again reveal significant variation in both usage frequency and patterns among students. When prompted to reflect on the most impactful activity for their sense of teamwork, students consistently identified the supported solo portion of the trip. This experience, where the STEM faculty stepped back and the students took charge of navigating, camping, and data collection with the support of outdoor adventure trip leaders, fostered a really strong sense of autonomy and collaboration among the students. Additionally, the presence of the outdoor adventure program student trip leaders served as a powerful influence. These near-peer role models, competent and capable in leading the group, inspired students by demonstrating that leadership and teamwork were achievable skills. When we revisit the student shared goals that they came up with for themselves at the beginning of the course, we see that there's a nearly unanimous sense that they completed all of their objectives. And when prompted to identify what they were most proud of overall from the course, comments included, "I'm proud that I did this whole month in general. There were so many times where I was worn out and nervous and felt like I couldn't do the hard thing. I said yes more than I said no, even when it got hard, and I'm proud of that." Or, "I'm proud of our group dynamics. I truly love everyone who participated in this program, and I think that we are a killer team." Or, "I'm most proud of my research project. I feel like I've actually contributed to science now and that I've created new knowledge. The project was difficult but incredibly rewarding." So to conclude, how can we design and deliver field courses that teach STEM skills and build belonging and teamwork? Well, we might start with thinking about our assessment tools, using tools that can give us a finer resolution to help us map sense of belonging and teamwork to the particular activities and time course of our classes. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can look to outdoor experiential education for a portfolio of material that we can use in our STEM courses to help build belonging and teamwork. For us, we found that debriefs, peer leadership, and the group solo were really powerful and effective tools that we borrowed from experiential education and applied them in this STEM course context. And finally, one of the main themes here is partnering with university outdoor programs. They have been incredible partners for us at VCU, and integrating some of their skills into Footprints on the James have really helped us integrate and be more intentional when we think about sense of belonging and teamwork building skills. Some of the things that we've learned from collaborating on this course with our outdoor experiential education professionals have not only impacted this class, but they've also scaled up to influence some of the things that we do at the program level. We've started introducing belonging and teamwork development in our introductory courses. We've encouraged students to think of their cohort and classmates as a team. We've started assessing cohort sense of belonging and sense of teamwork as they progress through the 4-year program. And we've begun incorporating sense of belonging into our annual environmental studies program evaluation, assessment, and reporting cycle. Partnering with VCU's Outdoor Adventure program has been transformative for our environmental studies curriculum. What began with Footprints on the James has blossomed into a multifaceted collaboration. Recognizing OAP as a natural ally for our objectives, we've worked together to scaffold field experiences throughout our curriculum, to develop a welcome weekend for new and transfer students, to develop a standalone outdoor leadership baccalaureate certificate program in environmental studies, to support our existing River Studies and Leadership Certificate program, which we collaborate with through the River Management Society. The outdoor program has even helped us to update university-wide field safety protocols. This partnership has provided invaluable opportunities for our students as well, many of whom have gone on to work with the OAP. The collaboration has not only enriched our program, but also elevated the university's commitment to experiential learning and outdoor leadership. We see tremendous potential in leveraging the expertise of outdoor experiential education to enhance field-based STEM education nationwide. Importantly, the ingredients for our successful collaboration at VCU aren't unique. Many institutions across the country possess the combination of outdoor programming resources and STEM departments necessary to build similar partnerships. Are you a university STEM field educator that's intrigued by the concept of collaborating with an outdoor program? Or perhaps you lead an outdoor adventure program at a university and are intrigued by the idea of broadening your stakeholder group by collaborating with a STEM department. Either way, we'd love to hear from you. We invite you to complete the short survey linked in the notes below. Your input will help us better understand your needs, interests, capacity, and barriers, and we hope to share this information across the fields, bringing the information from the scientists to the adventure community and from the adventure community to the scientists. Our hope is to catalyze further conversations and partnerships across these fields to their mutual benefit. Thank you for your time, and we hope to hear from you.